Okay guys, for those of you who didn't see the unboxing video of this sewing machine, it's the Juki DU1181N. I can refer you to another video I made, it's in my channel, where I show the parcel and how this arrived to my home as I ordered it over the internet. This video is going to be about how we put these parts together, and you can see I've located the parts here in different sections. For example, here you can see what came in a smaller box that was located together with the sewing machine head as one unit. Now, the table over here came as a separate box, but some of the parts that are needed to assemble the table, they were located in this box with the sewing machine head. So if you don't find all the parts for the table, you find them inside the box that came together with the sewing machine head. Now, we also need a motor to drive the sewing machine, and it's over here. Came as separate in this box you see here, and that's also going to go together with the table.
Now, this is basically the instruction manual, and it only shows a few safety things that you need to remember for using it, and some explanation of the symbols. But there is nothing regarding on how you mount all these parts together. So this video will be focusing on how we can put the parts together.
Enough about that. We're going to start mounting the table now so that you get your sewing machine in a working order. Hang on guys.
So these are all the bolts, nuts and screws that comes with the table. You can see they're lined up here. But we start with putting the simplest parts together first, because that's the easiest. So if we take this one here, then we're going to put that on here. Okay, I will hold there, and then you need one of the bolts there. You see those ones there? The big ones. Okay, excellent. Now we have those over there. One of those.
Jag också få ta den.
Aha. Fel storlek. It's the wrong size.
Så. Bra, och så, ja, fel håll, wrong direction.
Okej.
Great, perfect.
Okej.
På en bricka. Så, och en mutter.
En bricka.
That's good. And then nut.
Var du trycker eller?
Så.
Jag förstår inte riktigt hur Ellas kan bli så där bra. Jag kan göra det i så fall.
That looks pretty good. Okay. But now we have to tighten them with the tools. Here we have all the tools. This is a toolbox. It's very good to have to mount your sewing table.
Eller där ja. Ja, det passar ju.
Passar den? Ta den då. Och så sätter du på den där. Ja, den är där. Så, nu.
Titta så här.
In på den här. Flytta på den här. Ja, prova dra. Ja. Håll mot den.
So with a little bit of more resistance, I've been able to put the shims on this side as well. So the 17mm bolts with shims and on both sides and nuts on the other side. Same goes for this side over here. Also have the shims mounted there. The 13mm bolts with nuts and shims on both sides are mounted down there, as you can see. Also was able to get this one working. Can you walk around and wow, get this. Oh my god. The pedal works like this. So what did we mount? Vad satte vi på? Yes, that's the last piece. So now the table is complete, and it has two 13mm bolts, nuts and shims on both sides on this corner, and one on that corner as well. You can see the inside, how it looks.
So here you can regulate the height of the table. So now we're just going to mount the sewing machine to the table.
So the next thing here is that I'm going to show you how the table stand comes together with the table surface. Now, if I take the table stand and I just put it upside down, it's going to go like this. And that's fairly straightforward, may seem, but in reality, at this point, you want to make sure that it sits exactly where you want it to be. And before you actually mount this entire stand onto the bottom side of your table surface, you may want to check that you get the servo motor, the engine, in the right place. It's actually easier for you then to make sure that you have the space you need for all the parts, because somewhere this drawer should be mounted on the surface as well. So possibly you may want to line it up something more towards that side, because this box can then be placed here, and it's hanging on these two rails. But for the moment, right now, I will take this aside and we will mount the engine. We have the engine sitting over there. So this pulley is connected with the belt, and the belt runs through that slot up to your machine. What's important here, well, is to align the pulley with the hole that you see there. Once that's been done, well, at a later stage we will mount everything with the belt on to the pulley, but then you have here some belt covers that will make sure that you don't get stuck in the pulley when it's under the table and you're using the sewing machine. So for this operation you need 3 bolts. These are the ones that comes in a separate, well, in a plastic bag. You need these washers, and you need these ones, smaller one, lock washers, that secures your machine properly so that it doesn't unscrew due to the vibrations. And if I move this apart now, then the first thing I need to do is to stick this one in under so they come up from the other side, and that's very easy. It's just to lift up your table a little bit, and here you can see how the bolts holding the servo engine is coming through the table. Now the next step is just to slide on the engine like this and line up the pulley. Now you will notice when you do this, well, you want to make sure that no cables are stuck under there. You will notice that there's a little bit of difference in angle between how the slot is cut in the table and how the pulley is located. It's difficult to show here on the camera, but that's not much to worry about, because in the end you can adjust it sideways, and when the belt is running, if the belt is not running absolutely perfect, you can adjust that one later on. Right now all you need to do is to put the shims on, and there's 2 sides of the shims, shiny side out, the other side down towards the machine. Then goes the lock washers on, and then you have the nuts. This is very easy, straightforward, no problem at all. But you want to do this when you have the table upside down in the way I have it now, because it's easier for you to access and to fasten these bolts.
So here you can see how the pulley is approximately lined up with the hole or the slot in the table. And I can just use this one to see roughly that the band come in and run straight through that slot. So now the only thing I need to do is to tighten down these 13mm nuts so that these washers level out flat and closes. And you can see here, what I mean by that is that you see right there a little gap. And there you go. Now we close that little gap. You don't want to over tighten this one, because if you over tighten it, you're going to get a mark and a dent in the table on the other side.
So naturally, now I will show you how this works. This adjustment or the holder for the belt cover naturally needs to be aligned so that the belt can sit on the pulley and go through the slot down there. So it's not much to wonder about here. You just fasten these ones, the small screws here, and you can see how this guides the belt through the slot down there. So that's how it will be sitting. Then you can see I can fasten these ones, and then this one comes on like this. And now you can have your belt going through the slot over there. And then you connect the engine into the control unit. So you can see here how far my cords, electrical cords, reach. And you can see there's not many options. It's not an option to put this control unit, for example, on the other side, because the cords are not long enough. Then you see that in this case here now, we have it all lined up somehow. And at this point, I can take the table stand, the feet of the table, and position that in the right way. And after that, I can attach the units where they should be permanently. That means that one and the cords with these holders here. So I'm going to get the table now and we put it back on there so we can see where the things end up. Before we turn the table around now, I'm going to show you the last few things that I've done. You can see how I've arranged the cables so that they are all nice and tidy and firmly sitting away from the belt, so they can never get stuck in the belt while the machine is running. And you can also see how I tighten down the screws so that the table feet or the stand is now firmly attached to the underside of the tabletop. This is the original screws that came, while this is an extra screw that I've attached to get it more firmly sitting. I've also put some glue into the holes here because this surface, or this actually wood, is very soft. So it's very easy for you to pull the screws too hard so that you lose grip while you're screwing them down to hold the feet to the table surface. I've also attached the drawer and the rod that connects the pedal to the engine. All these things in the end here was very straightforward, not much things to think about. These screws though, they didn't come with a parcel from the manufacturer, so you have to find something that fits there so that the drawer slides nicely in and out in this way. The last thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you the distance of the table stand to the edges of the tabletop. You can see here on this one I have 2.5 centimeter on this side, which is the rear side of the table. Over here on the front, this one on the front side is 1.5 to the side of the tabletop, and this one here is 2.5 to the tabletop side. And from the rear
It's 5 centimeter, exactly 5 centimeter, and it's the same for this one. To the rear, it's actually 5 centimeter, and on this side here, we have 22.5 centimeters to the side. The drawer is separated from the left side leg with 6.5 centimeters, and from the side 2 centimeters. I put the drawer a little bit in from the front, so it starts 2 centimeters from the front. It's similar distance as you have here. The control unit where you turn on and off the machine is 2 centimeters from the front. Well, that's all for now. And we're going to turn the table around and do the mounting of all the parts on the top side of the table. So at this point, I'm going to start with, again, the most simple parts to be mounted on the tabletop of your sewing table. And you have a couple of different bags, one with tools inside it and a bobbin, but we can immediately just take out. This is the stopper for the sewing machine, or the sewing machine head, when you lean it backwards, when you open it up to access down into this tray where the oil is going to be. So this one is sitting over here, very easy to mount that one. And this piece is going over here. And now left in this little bag, we have a couple of different things, like the needle, some smaller screwdrivers and the bobbin and some screws. But this bag we will put aside for a moment. And right now we're going to focus on this little bag. I placed the tray in underneath here just to show you where it's sitting. But this tray actually should be sitting on some of supports that are located here in the corners so that it sits firmly. And these supports, you find them in this bag, and it's these ones, 2 of them. And then we have these ones, which are the hinges to, well, these are the hinges that will be sitting in the back of our machine. So you can take these ones out, the metal parts, so they just come out like this. I'm gonna start with nailing these ones down, and you have some small nails that comes in this plastic bag as well. You may want to have a small plier like this one to hold your nail, to avoid that you're hitting your fingers. And since this is rubber, when you don't feel the head of this or your nails, then you have hammered them down enough. And in these 2 holes, where we will have the major part of the weight of the machine, on our side, we have these 2 rubber supports. So you position these ones right into the corner here so that they don't snug with the machine when you fold it back. So you have to make sure that it's equally much distance over here as you have over there. Now for the other side over here, we have nothing here covering here yet, but this is where this one goes in. So you place those ones over there. Same goes for this side. We put the main one in here, and to have some support over there on the corner there, the black ones goes over there. They're not perfectly fitting, but almost. So now we're just gonna nail these ones down as well so that they are sitting firmly. And And that's it for these ones.
So at this point, you're just going to take the tray,
Put it down into the slot here,
where it should be sitting. And then we have the supports here for our sewing machine, which we are going to put in there right now. So here we got the sewing machine.
and here you have the hinges. And the hinges should be sitting in some holes that you will see on the rear side of the machine here when I lift it up.
This one can be quite heavy, so I'm not sure I can do this with one hand.
You can see here how it's coming along. And here you can also see at the same time where these hinges goes. Goes in there, and an equivalent hole on this side further towards my side. So now we just take the entire machine.
And here we go. The machine is in place. So you can now see how the hinges have been fitted in to their slots. And the machine is sitting in its place. So now we can start mounting the rest of the stuff. Now, as you may have noticed, I'm in practice eliminating piece by piece. And these are all the pieces that we've got left to mount for the sewing machine. Over here you can see the thread stand. That's the last thing I'm going to do. That's the easiest piece of all. Now, what's left? Well, we see here, we're going to fill the oil at the end. We have that one there. Here's the wheel that is sitting on the pulley, so that you can adjust your needle up and down with your right hand while you're sewing. Then we have the pulley guards, and the pulley guard has a front side. This is the front side of the pulley guards that's going towards you, and this is the back side of the pulley guard. The reason why it has this little plastic flip here is because it's divided into two pieces, because it's going to sit so that you can fold back the machine, and then this one shouldn't be in the way. Now this is mounted with these 3 screws here. This is the thread guide that will be sitting on top of the sewing machine. Then these tools that you see over here, they are mainly for adjusting the sewing machine later on, and I will do a separate video on the fine adjustment on the oil supply. But then we have the bobbin winder, and that's where we're going to go now. It's connected with these 2 screws, and then here this is to lift your foot from underneath the table. Next part is to mount the bobbin winder, and we're going to use these 2 screws for that you see over here with these 2 shims, and it's going to be sitting like this. And now the bobbin winder, it can be engaged or non-engaged. So we can see here, if I push this one here, that's where it's non-engaged. If I pull it back, this is when it's engaged. When it's engaged, then it should be touching the belt. So that gives you a fairly straightforward starting point for mounting this. So you can see here that although there are slots here for mounting it, so that you can in the future move it back and forth a little bit by just unscrewing your screws a little bit, you still want it aligned like this, so that it's sitting on the middle of your belt. And you also want it to go parallel with the slot that you have down there. That's not, however, all to it, because we're also going to have the belt guard sitting on here, and the belt guard goes on like this. So the bobbin winder should be positioned parallel with the belt, and what I do now is that I'm going to mount the belt guard first, so I see how much space I have to move around the bobbin winder. So for the belt guard to go on, we've got the bobbin winder in underneath here. Now I just take this smaller screw and it goes into that black extender. And now while that is in position, then we can take the bigger screws. And I only hand tighten these ones. Not much force needed at all. So now, while we got the belt guard on and it's sitting firmly, then we can see, if we're looking down into here, well, that the bobbin winder is engaged in this position, then it should be touching the belt. But it shouldn't be touching the back. So here you can see that while it's not engaged, then it's free to move. Like this. And then when it's engaged, it's stuck. It's actually, well, you can sense that it's touching on this side and on this side. And it shouldn't be touching on the rear side, only on the belt. But most important here is that we get it so that it's sitting located right onto the belt, because we can move it back and forth later on. It's a little bit tricky, this part, because you can't see properly, but you can put your fingers in here and then you can feel if the wheel on the bobbin winder is sitting in the middle. And right there I can see like 0.5 millimeter on both sides. 0.5 millimeter of the aluminum wheel on both sides of the belt. Then I know that I've got it right in the position where I want it. So now I just need to line this, mark it out so that it's straight along with the slot that we have here. Now you can see there's a pattern imprinted in the tabletop or the surface of this table. So you can see that pattern and use it as a guide to make sure that you have it sitting straight. So the screw hole should be there and there. Another way to double check that you have it in the right spot is to measure from the side of the table. And that tells me that it's right there and right there, where the hole should be. And now all I need to do is to drill the holes. And it's just to get through the surface, because the wood in itself is soft underneath. And here you see the 2 holes. So now I have plenty of room to move it sideways in this direction, or front and back, while I know that the aluminum wheel in there is right onto the belt. So at this point it's all mounted, and now I can remove the belt guard. And now you can see here how the belt is aligned with the aluminum wheel, and as I push this one, it gets to sit straight onto the belt. Then I can disengage it like this. So that's what you want to have. Now the rear side of the belt guard should just be mounted so that you stick it in underneath here, and it's positioned so that when you fold the machine backwards, then it should open. See, the belt is going to travel, as you see up there, it opens that slot there. So you want to make sure that you can fold it all the way back to the stopper, which you see there, and it doesn't obstruct the machine from leaning back. So there you see how now I've got the machine leaning all the way back, and now I can position, you see I can position it in the right spot, so I can determine where the screws are going to be sitting. So about the rear part of the belt guard, what I found is that the best way to locate this one is to, well, of course you want it centrally adjusted, but you want to have it as far back as you can while having this little mechanical thing on the inside. Because as you can see, if I fold this backward now, you will notice that the belt will push this little plastic part backwards, and at the end the belt will slightly touch the inside of the rear belt guard. But if you put it too much towards that side, or where you're sitting, then you will find out that when you fold it back all the way backwards the engine, there will be a lot of tension on this plastic here, because it will hit, as you see, the plastic. So here I'm pushing this one as far back as I can while still having this little plastic part on the inside. So then I take a little marker and I mark out here. Now sideways, I want the belt to run in the middle, so then I can fold this one down. Now I can look. So now I can look, if I place it on my mark there and I fold it forwards, then I can make sure that the belt is right in the middle. So that's it. Now you can see what it looks like when you fold the machine back. So I'm folding the machine back now, and I lean it on the support stud there. And if we go around, what you see is that the belt is relatively well centered in that slot. Possibly I could have had it a little bit further to the left. So now that we got the belt guards and the bobbin winder all mounted, then we're gonna move down and take this one. This is very easy. It's just 3 holes over there and 3 screws over here. That's it. So once you're done with eliminating all the parts in the parcels, then possibly some things will be left over and some question marks will remain. And one question mark I had was these ones, these rubber mounts. And if you go on the internet, you will find the instruction manual for the DU1181N Yuki sewing machine. And on the second point here, you have the installation of the oil tray. And then you can see that the main supports, they are supposed to be located down here where the ones are. Those are the ones that we nailed. But then you have the 3 and the 3 and the hinges. And the 3 says clearly here that the other 2 rubber cushion seats on the hinge side are fixed. We're using a rubber-based adhesive. That's I don't know what kind of rubber-based adhesive you will use there, but I found something that sorts this point out. And it's to use while this 3M adhesive pads. Actually perfect in size. You can see on one of these pads I can fit both of them.
So now all you need to do is to peel off the tape, put on your cushioning pad, and it fits perfectly like this. Now we just need to peel off the other side and stick them in under the tray.
We're talking about this side up here.
It all came fitted in there in place, fell down there, and we got that rubber support under on that side all sitting there firmly. Now we're just going to do the same on this side over there.
So now that we've sorted out the cushioning pads, these are the last few parts that remain. One is the thread guide, and this one, it should be located up here and in the direction of where the thread is going. So you can see here the thread is supposed to be going up here. So this pretty much sums it up, all of it, the assembly of the Juki DU1181N industrial sewing machine. Left, we only have now the tools that were supplied with the machine, and these are the tools that came with the machine. We have a bobbin, a needle, some needles, actually I think this might be, or I don't know how many needles they give you. 1 or 2 extra needles, size 21. The sewing machine oil, which we will add just in a moment, and then there's one shim left. So if you, this is the biggest fear you may have, is that something will be left over in the end, and in this case this one is left over, and that brings me to the mistakes that you may enter or may do when you assemble the machine. And I made one big mistake here, or one smaller mistake I would say, and you can see here that the mistake I made relates to the thread stand. The thread stand comes in like this. It's very easy to mount the thread stand. It's basically just to screw this one on, attach the 2 rods on top of each other by screwing this little unit on, and then these ones are just mounted with a 13mm socket in on this side here. So, and there's a lock nut there, lock washer in there, and it's very easy to do, no problem at all. But when you put it down here in the table, it comes with a washer, a rubber support, then a washer on the bottom side, and then the nut. And you can see here that the nut, I've put it on the nut here and I have the washer there, but I couldn't fit this one. That's the mistake I made in mounting this table. So now I have to live with the fact that I only have the nut directly towards the washer, the rubber washer, or I have to change and reposition the entire leg stand on this machine, which I'm not going to do. So that's what basically what it comes to, why I have one washer left. Okay, for the rest of it now is we have also this one. I haven't mentioned anything about this so far. This is just to screw in. This is what controls your presser foot. You see, if I push this one to the left or to the right, then I lift this foot. And this is how you can mechanically move the foot up and down while you're sewing. This is also a socket, 13mm, and it's just to put it in whatever fashion you like when you're sitting in front of the machine. So that some people want to push this to the right with your knee. You can have it any way you wish to have it there. I think that's all of it. There's possibly one more thing I should say. And it deals with the motor and the tension of the band. Now, I've searched this a lot and I couldn't find any proper instructions on what the band tension should be. So there's different strategies to deal with this. One strategy is to look at the back rear side of the machine. And if we move around here, we see that the tension of the cord will depend on how you mount these two bolts or nuts. So if I open this one here, that means that I can actually push it, all of it up, so the machine so that the engine or the pulley on the motor is directed downwards, more down towards my side. That will give me more tension to the belt. Now the position we have it now is in the bottom position with the smallest amount of tension to the belt, and I prefer to start there, and then if I see that it slides, it doesn't provide a good grip between the pulleys, then I will increase the tension to the band. A good start is to take this one and make sure that you can turn it. Right now I can turn it easily. There's no problem with the belt tension, and I can see that it's also moving the entire belt when I'm turning the manual wheel in the back here. If necessary, I will increase the tension, and that will be done by holding up the machine, letting this one move up a little bit and moving this nut up as well. Right now I will keep it in the lowest tension position, which is there when I start the machine.
Går inte. Jag ska få upp den.
Jo, det är klart det går. Det är en japansk flaska.
Varför säger du det är en japansk flaska?
Jag har köpt den från Japan. Oj.
Nu är det bara att hälla. Nu kommer jag hälla i det. Det går. Nu är det klart. Det var väl lätt. Det är fortfarande jättemycket kvar.
The sewing machine is now filled with oil. We're now going to turn on the machine for the first time. Yeah. And what we see here is a P1, P what? And P, no, P. So now we're going to see if it works. So we're going to search in the instruction manual to see. There's nothing such as how to turn on the machine. There is a holder for a bobbin in there, and there's actually a thread in the machine as well. So we have a thread mounted already. And now you can see the bobbin here. You got two bobbins with the machine as it came. And here you can see an instruction from the Japanese company how the thread should be going down towards your needle. You go through here, it's like one turn around, then this one, and this is the thread tension button. It comes down there, so you can see it goes through this one and down to the needle. Now we will remove this entire thread, close that one, put the piece of fabric in there, lower the pressure foot, and try and see what happens if we push the pedal. And these are the first stitches we are making with this machine.
Tryck! Ja! Jag borta!
And the machine works. Excellent. Thanks everyone for watching. This is the end of this video. And thank you so much. Now the next video will be about how to thread the machine and how to start your sewing projects.